do it. Let's 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 do it. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving your perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. How do the kids remember you? How will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? How relevant are you to the people that matter? And when I say the people that matter, I mean the young kids growing up as they continue to grow and grow and grow. Meaning, like when you know someone, the newborn, and now he or she's starting to spring up and develop into their own personality. How do they resonate with you? How do they remember you? Because they're kids, and there's all sorts of people coming in and out of their lives as kids. All sorts of people that their mommy and daddies are introducing them to, or on to whoever it is raising them. How do they remember you? How do they remember you, and how do you jog the memory? How do you stay relevant? All right, I'm going somewhere with this. All right, make sure you stay tuned. I'm going somewhere with this, because Jess was now 72 hours ago, this past Saturday, when I was back in Maryland. I linked up with my boy, my main man, one of my main guys, one of my day one guys. His name's Omar Powell, who's actually been on this podcast. The title of this episode is Business Mentorship 101. Business Mentorship 101. And I remember when I first moved out here to South Florida 6 years ago, his son was a newborn. His son was a newborn. I remember, actually, I probably still have the picture on my phone when he sent the picture of his newborn. He's like, yeah, he's in the world now, and he's got to get his grind on. Got to get his bread up. No BS. I remember the message because I was just moving to Florida. He just had a newborn, and there was kind of a mentality where it's like, let's go. It's go time. Grind season. Time to grind. Time to get up. Time to put those construction boots on and grind and get this paper for the youngins, to provide for the young kids that are going to be looking up to us growing up, right? So this wasn't the first time I've seen Omar since I moved to Florida. He's actually been out here. He's been out here a few times. I want to say 2 or 3 times he's been out here in Florida, and we linked up and, spent the weekend and whatever, just kind of chopped it up, caught up and all that stuff. So his youngest son is obviously getting old. I believe now he's either 5 or 6 years old at this point. And, it's crazy. It's crazy because I remember actually first seeing him, he was a newborn, and then, he came out here like 3 years, and, now seeing him, up and talking, very apparent. You know how it is when you see young babies start to grow into toddlers and things like that. And I remember, when I first saw them, we met at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Rockville, Maryland. I first saw him. It was Omar and his family. They were feeding the boys. He asked his young son. He goes, "Hey, you remember that guy? You remember that guy?" And the young son, he looks at me. He goes, "You're that guy from that book, aren't you?" He didn't know my name. He's like, "You're that guy. I remember that. You look kind of familiar to that guy in that book that my father has and my brother has, because it was JJ who I first started doing NIL deals with. So I sent them a book, and the book is probably somewhere around the house where he sees the cover and all that. And not only that, but actually I interviewed Omar for the book. So the second book, Make Your Move, is about how boxing and dance relate to other sports and entrepreneurship. And I interviewed Omar for that book, and I put a picture of Omar with the way he answered the questions about how boxing relates to other sports and all that kind of stuff. And the point of me breaking all that down for you guys, the main point is to understand the importance of staying relevant. What you did yesterday, who knew you before today, really doesn't matter. It's all about, and I'll close you out with this story. Nowadays, when it comes to the kids and how the kids resonate with who you are, here's what they're going to do. They're going to take your name, copy and paste it. They're going to put it in a Google search, and then whatever comes up is whatever you're about. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the way the kids recognize or test or vet you out, or see if it's important for them to listen to you or not listen to you. So the point of me breaking all that down to you is make sure you're staying relevant, and make sure you're putting your story out there consistently every single day, relentlessly putting your story out there, relentlessly putting material out there. So when the young kids start Googling you, when the young kids start looking you up, and they start looking for mentors, and they start looking for people in their lives that can help them propel to whatever level it is they're trying to to get to your name, your brand, your business, your service, your whatever it is you want it to be, your situation comes up so they can reach out, make a connection and do some great things. That's on you. That's your job to do. It's your job to do, to be someone that, again, at a newborn, 6 years old now he knows nothing about my football playing career. Only thing he knows now is, oh yeah, that's the guy that has the book that my daddy's in, and my brother has a copy of that book too. So obviously I should probably read it. Obviously it's going to be something that he then again tells another kid about, and as you grow up, it's something that kind of sticks in somebody's mind. All right. Main website to check out to dive deeper into my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyaMove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.